What's up, YouTube? Chad here with another beer review to BJCP Specs. We're on style 12C English IPA. And of course, I could not find an actual authentic English IPA to save my life. Well, like actually one from England. So I found an American substitute. This is Green Man IPA. They're one of the Asheville, North Carolina breweries. You know, it's like the hottest beer town on the East Coast right now. So I don't even remember how I found out that this was an English style IPA. I just checked their website. They're saying they do it, totally two spec English style IPA. So I guess we'll find out. All right, so 12C English IPA overall impression: a hoppy, moderately strong, very well attenuated, pale British ale with a dry finish and a hoppy Roman flavor. Classic British ingredients provide the best flavor possible. Now, of all the beer reviews of all the styles I've done so far, this one has the absolute longest comments, history, characters, ingredients, all that stuff. Well, especially the comments and the history. So, I mean, I think we all know the history of IPAs. Like, they put extra hops in them to ship it to India, and that's where the name came from. When they're talking about British IPAs, they're talking about the stuff that's pretty comparable to the American stuff. Lots of hops and the main difference between British IPA and American IPA is that there's much more malt in British IPA, and it's like sweeter. Characteristic ingredients: pale ale malt. English hops are traditional, particularly as finishing hops. Attenuated British ale yeast. Refined sugar may be used in some versions. Some versions may show a sulfate character from Burton type water, but it's not essential to style. Style comparison: generally will have more finished hops and less fruitiness and or caramel than British pale ales and bitters. Has less hop intensity and more pronounced malt flavor than typical American versions. Look at our vitals: 40 to 60 IBUs. It's kind of pale ale territory for Americans. 6 to 14 SRM and 5 to 7.5 ABV. Yeah, so I'm getting plenty of hops here, and they're definitely more of like the East Coast style. Lots of pine, slight resin, or you might call it earthy, or maybe a floral kind of thing, but most definitely not San Diego style citrus or tropical fruit or anything like that. Although I will say there is like a bit of a fruity character in it from like the classic British yeast esters, which according to their website is what they use. Malt presence is definitely there. Has like a slight caramel. I don't think I'd say toffee, but yeah. So I'd say it's noticeably malty for what is supposed to be an IPA, and like the hops are there, and they're not like in your face. So it's what you would by American standards, it's like a very well balanced IPA. In fact, probably a little too well balanced. All right, so let's check the specs. Aroma: a moderate to moderately high hop aroma of floral, spicy, peppery, or citrus orange in nature is typical. A slightly grassy, dry hop aroma is acceptable, but not required. I don't get any grass. A moderately low caramel-like or toasty malt presence is optional. All right, yeah, so I'd say moderately low caramel. Low to moderate fruitiness is acceptable. True. Some versions may have a sulfur note. This character is not mandatory. I'm going to go 9 out of 12. I was kind of on the fence between a 9 and an 8 there. Maybe we'll come back. Appearance, well, again, kind of like this seems to be the theme of this category 12, is like this kind of rusty copper, orangish brown hue. Very, very hazy. Had about two fingers of foam when I poured it. I'd say it's like exactly a 9 SRM. See for yourself. Maybe a 7 where the light shines. Not a bad looking beer. We'll see if it laces the glass. Let's check the appearance. Color ranges from golden to deep amber, but most are fairly pale. It says 6 to 14 SRM, so it's in the range. Should be clear, although unfiltered dry hop versions may be a bit hazy. Moderate size, persistent headstand with off-white color. I'd say it's like eggshell. So far so good. I'll give that a 3 out of 3 in appearance, and maybe if I had to give that a 2, I wouldn't be against it. So, all right, now the best part: flavor, or flavor, as they say there. Cheers. Yes, it definitely strikes me as an IPA. But a lot of the characteristic ingredients, not to rip off BJCP, are quite different than what we're used to on the state side. So, as soon as it hit my lips and tongue, I got like a slight caramel kind of sweetness, kind of that, like I said before, like ESB, that kind of base palate there. So it's slightly sweet, but like certainly not, barley wine, old ale, strong ale territory, nothing like that. The hops are, it's interesting because like they have like a slight kind of orange fruitiness or like marmalade, but they're not, and like they have that spicy pepperiness they talk about in the aromas. Like, so it does have like a little bit of like a, almost like noble hop kind of a spicy peppery thing. Yeah, it's like kind of orange, but I mean the hops they're kind of piney and resiny as far as flavor, and like kind of a spicy peppery on the back end, and like the actual bitterness is fairly dry, not like arid or anything. But let's check the specs for this flavor. Hop flavor is medium to high with a moderate to assertive hop bitterness. I agree with that. I'd probably put about medium. Moderate hop bitterness, true. Hop flavor should be similar to the aroma: floral, spicy, peppery, citrus, orange, and or slightly grassy. Floral, spicy, peppery, true. Malt flavor should be medium low to medium and be somewhat bready, optionally with a light to medium light, biscuit-like, toasty, toffee-like, and or caramelly aspects. That's a lot of different variables there in a poorly worded sentence. So, I mean, they say caramel, biscuit. I don't know if I'd say biscuit or bready, but yeah, toffee, caramel. Okay, yeah. Medium low to medium fruitiness, true. Yeah, there's definitely kind of a background fruity note. Finish is medium dry to very dry, and bitterness may linger in the aftertaste, but should not be harsh. True. I'd say medium dry, and the hops do linger, but they're certainly not harsh. The balance is toward the hops, but malt should still be noticeable in support. True. I mean, it's definitely more well balanced compared to most American IPAs, but the hops are just still slightly more than the malt. If high sulfate waters use a distinctive minerally dry finish, some sulfur flavor and lingering bitterness are usually present. Some clean alcohol flavor can be noted in stronger versions. Oak is inappropriate in this style. Okay, so it's mostly there. I'm gonna say 15 out of 20. It's good, solid, tastes pretty good, just not blowing me away. In fact, that 15 is a little generous. Check mouthfeel real quick. I'd say it's about medium body, medium high carbonation. Very smooth. Like I said, the hops linger. It's not refreshing, but it's certainly not a challenge to drink. Mouthfeel, smooth, medium light to medium bodied mouthfeel without hop derived astringency, although moderate to medium high carbonation can combine to render an overall dry sensation despite a supportive malt presence. Man, that is a run-on sentence. A low, smooth alcohol warming can and should be sensed in stronger, but not all versions. So I mean, as far as the body and carbonation, it's right there, but not amazing. I'm kind of torn between a 3 and a 4 on this. I'll say 4. Overall impression, I'll say 7. Total score of 38 out of 50. Yeah, I agree with that. It's good, but it's not great. It's representing the style, but it's not the absolute best. But, can't get actual English style. So, there you go. All right, so total score of 38 out of 50 for Green Man IPA. Decent, solid American beer. If you really like English IPAs, you can live on the East Coast, you probably can find this. So, that's all I got to say. All right, so thanks for watching. I will see you guys around. Cheers.
Somebody brewed it, Chad just reviewed it. Thanks for watching Chad's Beer Review. Trust me, the next episode will be a lot better.